Folks, it is late January once again, and it's not even an inauguration year. You know what that means? It's time for my obligatory pro-life video. Back when I lived in Oakland, I used to go to Sunday nights at the Starry Plough Irish pub where they used to play Irish session music. Now it was Berkeley, so obviously it was like revolutionary communist Irish pub, obviously. But I mean, the music was great and so was the beer. Steve, this is a pro-life video. Why are you talking about Irish commies? Hey, I'm getting there. Because the whole thing was revolution themed, painted on the wall was this giant quote by Irish author James Connolly. No revolutionary movement is complete without its poetical expression. If such a movement has sought hold of the imagination of the masses, they will seek a vent in song for the aspirations, the fears and hopes, the loves and hatreds engendered by the struggle, until the movement is marked by the joyous, defiant singing of revolutionary songs. It lacks one of the most distinctive marks of a popular revolutionary movement. It is the dogma of a few and not the faith of the multitude. Whew. This quote reminded me of one of my biggest complaints about the various pro-life marches that I've been a part of. Why are all these marches so quiet? Where is the music? Why is no one singing? Now, there's a whole method and tactic behind being a silent witness when you protest and want to offer help in front of an actual abortion clinic. It makes a big impression when half the people are screaming and threatening and shouting obscenities and frothing with anger, while the other half are like quiet and helpful and praying rosaries for you. But these are marches. These are large gatherings dedicated to the revolutionary idea that enwombed girls and boys are people too, and the girls and women that are pregnant with them deserve far better than what our country and what our culture is offering. The March for Life is a nationwide protest dedicated to changing this idea from the dogma of the few to the faith of the multitude. The march is not the time for silence, it's the time for poetical expression. This is the time for the joyous, defiant singing of revolutionary songs. Let them know what we're about. I constantly have to explain to people that the pro-life movement is not some cabal of old white men and little church biddies that yell profanities at any and all non-virginal girls and shoot up doctors' offices. Now that does get harder every time somebody yells something awful at a non-virginal girl, but you know, here we are. But this is the only time every year that the pro-life movement actually gets a shot at the national news. The pro-life movement gets a shot at steering the national conversation. Not the politicians who say they're pro-life, the actual pro-life movement. So why aren't we yelling and singing as joyously as we can? The one time I went for the March for Life in DC, it was weirdly quiet. It was bizarre. And the One Life rally in LA is actually a lot better. So let me tell you about the songs that I have heard at these rallies. First, there's usually like some sort of patriotic song. I've heard, I think, God Bless America and the Star Spangled Banner. Okay, God Bless America is actually a good choice. This land does need God's blessing, and I do love it. To the oceans, white with foam. But I really don't get the Star Spangled Banner. The national anthem to the country in which abortion is enshrined in constitutional law. Ugh. It's just a weird thing to sing in that moment, is all I'm saying. I went to the DC March a year after Nellie Gray died. Nellie Gray started the whole march. So there were a couple songs there that were sung in remembrance of her, including this Requiem type song sung by a bunch of Russian Orthodox priests, which was actually really awesome. Problem is, it also very obviously alienated the secular pro-lifers in the audience, and we cannot win this without them. We cannot win this fight without God either, but we cannot win this without our secular pro-life allies. And then during the march, there was like this sweet girl that passed out lyrics to a song she wrote. She rewrote the lyrics to Do You Hear the People Sing from Les Mis. It was okay. The meter didn't match exactly, so it was awkward. The song kind of lost steam well before the march was over. My favorite example of music at these marches is in California, where literal drum lines from actual high school marching bands come and play, and people start singing with them. Na 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 na, na 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 na, hey, 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 pro-life. It's fun, and it loses a little steam after a while because you don't want to be singing that for like too long, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. So here's what I suggest. Everyone write a song, or at least a chant, that can be joyously and loudly expressed at the next march you go to. March, not peaceful protest outside of a clinic. I'm writing a song that you can sing specifically to those male feminists holding signs at the counter protests. That's gonna be my next video. At the very least, find a song from a different context and jerry-rig it so that it kind of works at a pro-life rally. I can already think of two examples. They're both from the musical Hair, but the first one was covered by Nina Simone, so it's, you know, popular in other ways. That one's literally called I Got Life. How have we not used this yet? I got life, brother. I got life, sister. I got freedom. The other one is actually really, really great, and it goes like this. How dare they try to end this beauty? How dare they try to end this beauty? In the musical, they're talking about the banning of psychedelic drugs, but I think we can very easily make this about the lives of the unborn. We need more joy, is what I'm saying. We need to move from the dogma of the few to the faith of the many. We need more music. Steve the Missionary posts videos 3 times a week. If you want to reach me, head to my Twitter account @SteveMissionary or my Instagram, Steve the Missionary. I'll see you soon.